Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network. We're about to get started with Open Mic Live, but first, as always, a word from our sponsor.
At InDigital, we know that public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESINet goes beyond industry standards, not only i3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
August 24th, 2016, the I Am 901 movement is born. One of my personal stories set the tone for this movement. What started out as a way to raise awareness for the reclassification issue for dispatchers quickly turned into peer support. 911 professionals from all over the world were sharing their stories. On Facebook alone, at that time, the engagements were over 34 million. It spawned a peer support session at conferences called Imagine Listening, where dispatchers shared their stories out loud or on paper. For years, I have been asked if this would ever become a book, coming June 2023, and available now for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. From Titletown Publishing, Imagine Listening, Your Worst Day is Our Everyday. If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Yo, what is going on? This is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are back. Back in the saddle again. Hell yeah. This is Open Mic Live. Usually we're doing this on Saturdays, right? We're usually doing this on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, but we've had a lot of things going on the past couple of weeks, especially this weekend as well. Had a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to tell you about my Texas trip, and we're going to go through a few things here in a moment. But first, as always, this live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, a leader in next-gen core services. A big shout out to patrons as well as subscribers on Facebook. Basically, subscribers of the podcast. Subscribers that get bonus material, all that other good stuff. Big shout out to all of you, but especially all of you that are here right now with me, watching, listening, sharing, and supporting. I thank you very, very much. And all kinds of excited to be back with all of you here. It's July 23rd. This month is going fast as hell, man. It is going crazy fast. And already, let's jump right in. So as we always do with Open Mic Live, how's everyone doing? How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being shitty, right? 1 being shitty. And 10 being awesome. Where are you at? Where are you at right now? I'm at a high number, man. I would say I'm at a 9. I am coming in at a 9. It has been an excellent weekend. Even better week coming into this weekend. It has been crazy good. So over here on TikTok, what is your number? How are you feeling today? Let's see. We've got 10. It's my birthday today. Awesome. Happy birthday. That is excellent. Woo. Very cool. And then over here on this side, we have Kimmy. Hello, Kimmy. My homegirl. How are you? She says, I'm here briefly, though, at the hospital with the hubs. Oh, I hope he's doing okay. And she says, I'll catch the replay for sure, though. And then Zach, what is going on, brother? James coming in 2 weeks to Nashville. That's right. If you are going to the National APCO Conference in Nashville, I will see you there. I don't have a class that I'm going to be teaching or anything. I also don't have a booth, but I am going to be there. And I'm going to be there in the InDigital booth, and I am going to be doing just kind of a short little presentation, and I will be there. They'll be giving away several Imagine Listening books, and I will be there to sign them. I will also have books there to purchase. So if you are looking for a book and you're there at the conference, I can hook you up. Either you make it there for the giveaway, or you can purchase one as well. Either way, I will be there to sign it. And I would love to see all of you, love to meet you, talk to you some more, all that good stuff. So again, make sure to stop by. See, James is a 7 coming in. Kim is a 2. Let's see if we can get your number up there just a little bit. And then Zach, a 4, sat through a bad one last week that has messed with my head. Oh, man, I am sorry. Well, please make sure to if you need help, of course, always reach out. We're all here for you, and especially all those I'm sure that they work with you as well. So we'll see if we can get that number up. If you're coming in at a low number, even if your number stays the same, as long as you were here, I mean, that's awesome. That is good. So I'll try to get those numbers up for you. Now, also, please share this broadcast, throw in some reactions, some likes, whichever. It shoots it out there to everybody else to get more people to come in so that we can share some more. So this is good. This is a good thing. Let's see. Oh, Zach says, can't wait. My book comes in Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be good, man. I'm excited for all of you who have ordered and are going to be getting your book soon. I do apologize again for just there was just so many that ordered books. We had to push the date back. So I thank you for your patience, and I thank you for the support, and for all those who have submitted stories and continue to submit stories. Thank you so very much. It's going to be continued my mission to help share these stories, but also to get as many of these stories into these books as possible, because this first book of Imagine Listening is book 1 in a series of books that are going to be coming out that highlight these powerful IM 911 stories that were submitted for the IM 911 movement. So look out for that. And I'm going to put the link here in the comments really quick. And for those over here on TikTok, if you just head over to my bio and or to my page, the link is there. And it is links.co/WTT podcast. And that's links with 2 i's.co/WTT podcast. And you can pick up the book there, either on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Target, Walmart, any of those. You'll be able to find the book. So again, thank you all so very much. And episode 502 went out. That was an awesome episode. All the episodes are awesome, powerful, all that good stuff. Chase, what is going on? Hello. Episode 502 is with Sheriff Grady Judd. And man, that was a good one. The first clip that I put out there, also episode 503 is going to be coming up here for everybody listening here very soon. I have to go through edit that one, and that one is going to be coming out. So I'm excited for that one as well, as always with all of them, for all of you to hear these stories are going to be coming out. But back to episode 502 really quick. This was the crazy thing, man. I put out this first clip from this episode where Sheriff Judd is talking about one of his 911 professionals that took a call. Edie, what's going on? Hello, hello. And it was an excellent clip. And this story, I am working right now to get this 911 professional on as a guest as well. And I am excited to share her story as well as get a little more of the story that Sheriff Judd shared as well. But this one clip on Facebook alone has now been viewed over 158,000 times. What? What a powerful story. And it continues to be shared and viewed. And thank you for the job that you did that day and the job that you continue to do, and everybody out there who's been helping to share this story. Thank you so very much. Let's see, Edie over here says, it's an excellent clip. I shared it here. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes. If you have not viewed it yet, make sure to check it out. Again, it is an excellent clip and story. And again, I'm working to get her on very soon so we can hear more of not just that story, but her entire public safety experience. So it's going to be good. It is going to be really good. And again, I'm looking forward to having her on. Tomorrow is July 24th. We were talking about the book. So July 24th is tomorrow. July 24th is the relaunch, basically, of the book. And it's going to go out there. You'll be able to purchase it. And everyone is going to start getting their books sent out to them and stuff. So please make sure to look for it. Again, it's going up tomorrow. And you can still go for the pre-order, or you can order tomorrow. You can also order it as an ebook, and it's there instantly. Wherever you get your ebooks, you can look for Imagine Listening. Your worst day is our everyday. Carly, what's going on, yo? Carly says, my book will be in Tuesday also. Yes! Oh, that is so good. Very, very good. I'm excited for everyone to have it. And just a small request, when you get your book, and after you've read it, what I'm looking for from those who end up purchasing a book is a selfie with your book, or on your coffee table next to coffee. I don't know. Something with the book. And also a review, please. A review. I would love that. Hook me up with it. I'll be putting it out there. Yes, James, for sure. Reviews. That is what I'm looking for, is reviews. And I'm going to be putting them all out there, and I'm excited to get them back. The reviews, that is. I'm excited to get those. So again, the launch is tomorrow, and I am all kinds of excited for that. So this last week, I ended up flying out to Texas. And let's see, Edie over here says a review helps the book be ranked well on Amazon. Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you. That would be excellent. The book ended up hitting as a number one bestseller on Amazon before the first pre-order ended up going out there. So that was really, really cool. That was a cool thing to happen, and I have all of you to thank for that. So thank you so very much. Kimmy says, yes, Texas. I know. I love Texas. There's been a lot of stuff going on over in Texas. And I'm excited for a lot of the good things that are going to be coming up. So please make sure to stay tuned. A lot of stuff I can't mention yet, but a lot of good things coming nonetheless. And Kimmy, I wish I could have seen you the next time I go out there. I'll have to see you. So I fly into Texas. Now, as a lot of you know, Also, if you have any funny 911 stories, please throw them in the comments. I will read those. We have not gotten away from those. We still do those. Or I have audio that I play for everyone. So no worries. We still do the funny 911 stories because that's what this is all about. But I also like to share a lot of my personal stories that and things that happen. Okay. So as a lot of you know, there's a lot of shit that happens to me when I travel. Okay. If you have seen my uh my keynote called An Emergency Landy, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay. The title says it all. An emergency landing. And what I do with that story is I compare, a lot of things that happened in that flight with a lot of what we deal with in dispatch. Because that's the power of storytelling. And you can mold it into a way to explain many, many different things. And then for this one, it's asking for help and also reaching out to each other for this help. It's a powerful story. Again, it's one of my keynotes that I do, and it's called An Emergency Landing. And it's a little different, right? But it's all in storytelling. And it's a really good one. It's an emotional one. But I love doing it. I love giving that keynote. I love doing that story. So again, as you know, a lot of stuff happens to me when I travel. This was a new thing. Oh wait, Kimmy says bouncing from hotel to sketch hotel. Yes, that too. Yes, that shit happens as well. Oh man. So I flew in to Austin, okay? Flew into Austin. I was waiting for one of my buddies to come and pick me up, and he was doing he had just finished up a class that he was teaching. And I was gonna be waiting there for about an hour for him to get to where I was at. So I ended up getting something to eat, something to drink, and I was sitting by this gate. So there's this table, and I had a bunch of plugs and everything so that you can just sit and chill and charge up your devices or work or whatever. So I'm just there, okay? I'm just there, minding my own business, eating a smash burger, which was delicious, by the way, and having a Mexico Coke, which if you've never had one of these, they're the best. They're really, really good. Yes. You'll have to find them. You can get them at the gas station, store, whatever, but they're Coke in a bottle. And it says refresco on it. Okay. That's how you know you got the right one. So I'm sitting there and these two guys walk by. Okay. And I'm just gonna say it because there's no need to hide it. We're all adults here. Okay. Um, Wait, James says, I love this show open mic, but having an open mic, not so much. Be careful with new pickles or handle for a wireless set or headset. What? What did you do? And if you have the recording, James, send it over. Oh, I can just imagine how this went down. So I'm sitting there, and this is what I hear. What I end up hearing is one of the guys say, Bro, what the fuck are you doing? And I turned to look to my left, and there were two guys walking, right? They're walking by me. The shorter of the two is like got his elbow into the guy to the right of him and is like almost nudging him forward. And he says again, Bro, the fuck are you doing? and he's getting louder and louder, and I'm just watching as the dude is, like, pushing more and more into this one guy, and I'm waiting to see swinging or something, like, there's gonna be a fight that's about to happen, because the taller of the 2 is just looking down at this guy, and he's just kinda yelling at him, like, "Stop, stop, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's swearing at him, and again, I'm waiting for someone to take a swing, and then I hear, "Security, security, stop them, security, security." And I see this lady run by me, and now I'm like, "What is going on?" And before this happened, my buddy Joe sent me a text message saying, "I'll be there in about 10 minutes." So this is all happening in this 10-minute this 10-minute window, okay? All happening in this 10-minute window of me packing up and walking just to the left of me, because where I was sitting just to the left of me was where you exit. You pass TSA and you go down an escalator and then you go right out front. So I was already right there. I mean, I sat there on purpose so that I could just split. Well, this commotion is going on now, right? This commotion is going on now, and I'm watching it go down, and as I said, this lady runs by me yelling, "Security, security, stop them." TSA comes out and swarms these 2 people, and they're trying to talk to them, and neither gentlemen are answering. And I'm zipping up my backpack as the one lady who was yelling security says, and points behind her and says, "One of them set a bag down." So that so as this person is yelling this out loud, like, everyone who's in the area turns, and I'm turning to my right as well, and sure as shit, there is a backpack that is just on the floor, sitting by itself. And if you fly, you know that there's usually something, like an announcement that's going off that says, if someone hands you a bag or if someone sets a bag down, get a hold of somebody, right? See something, say something, basically. Now, I had never had this happen before, and when I look, that backpack is sitting there. This backpack is stuffed to the gills. Like, it looks like it's about to rip open, like there's that much stuff in it. And as I'm standing there, I think, if something happens, I'm really close to this. Like, there's nowhere to run. So I start making my way out because they're still trying to get these 2 people to talk. There are people that are walking, like, as far around the bag as they can because it's just sitting there, and, I start to make my way out. Well, this couple comes by, like, almost cutting me off as I'm walking forward, and the guy ends up saying, "You see that bag there? Did somebody just leave a bag there?" And I said, yeah, yeah, somebody just left a bag. There's some commotion going over there with those 2 guys. TSA's over there. I don't know what else is going on." And the dude goes, "I'm just trying to find the exit." And his wife, she goes, "It's over here. It's over here." And I said, "Yeah, man, I'm going that same way." I said, I think it's time to go." So as we're making our way to the escalator and we start going down, I keep looking back at the backpack because I'm already running through scenarios. I look over to my left and I think, okay, if I needed to, I could slide down. excuse me, like I could slide down and maybe, I would make it if something happened because I can still hear the commotion going on upstairs. I can still hear them yelling at these two guys, trying to figure out what's going on and why the one person would not go back to pick up his backpack because they kept saying he won't go back. He won't go back to get it. So I'm going down the escalator and also I'm thinking, so if something were to happen, it's like, 80s movies, action movies where you see the person flying in slow motion with the whatever going on in the background. And I just snapped out of it. I was like, oh, I guess whatever happens, happens. I end up walking out front and I have no idea what happened. I know a lot of you are probably like, oh shit. Like he's not even gonna say. He doesn't even know. Because I don't. I don't. I don't know what happened. I don't know what else happened after that. I was telling my buddy about this, and he was looking it up on his phone and never found anything. So I don't know what the hell happened. But that was crazy and scary. Because like I said, I've never been in the airport when someone has actually left a bag in the middle of the floor and would not go back. But I shit you not, all of these different things were going through my head during that time. See, Edie over here says, just like being in dispatch, you never know what the hell ended up happening. Yes, exactly. No closure. No closure at all. But I mean, I did look at I looked up myself, for the Austin the airport in Austin. I didn't find anything. So there must not have been anything. James says, we have issues with a lack of closure, right? Yeah, I know. I had to deal with it too, man. Because I don't know what the hell happened either. But that shit was scary. Because again, I mean, before this happened, I was sitting there working on things, and I was thinking about my kids and stuff, and I was thinking about an anniversary that was yesterday that I posted about. And was just kind of reflecting on everything, and then that bag is there, and I thought, "Oh, there's no running." If something crazy was to happen, that would be that. It'd be like, "Deuces. Thanks, Ricardo." Uh, let's see, Kimmy says, "They come swarming out of the walls." Dude, you are not lying, man, because I have no idea where TSA came from. Like this so the person who was yelling for security was someone who worked there at the airport, and as they were running and yelling for security, yeah, they just came out of nowhere, and, they started questioning right away, and I'm just there, but, I mean, everyone, like, walking around it, and you can hear everyone saying, "Somebody set something down. Get out of the way. Run. Go. Go. Go." But it wasn't, people weren't running or anything like that. But man, I bet you anything, if one person would have started running, it would have been complete chaos. More so than it already was, because there was just a bunch of confusion and I'm watching all of this go down, and then I'm like, I need to get the hell out of here. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So that's how my trip to Texas started. I was only there for like a day and a half, but that's how it started. I landed in Austin, I got some food, sat down to work. Yes, exit, stage right, stage left, all exits. Exit everywhere. And then that shit happens. See, Kimmy says, low key, I've always wanted to just start running like that to see who follows. Dude. Okay, hold on. I got to tell you this. So, and I know I've mentioned it before, but like with my kids, I'll do that. I don't know about any of you, but every so often when I'm with my kids, we'll be walking, just whatever, and then I'll go and then just start running. and and they're running with me and they're like, was this another test? Yeah, it is, because I just want to make sure that they're paying attention. I've told them in the past, like, if a bunch of people are running, man, you better haul ass too, and then ask questions afterward. Edie says, safety training, such a good dad. I'm trying. Like, it's funny, right? It's funny, but I want them to be aware of things that are going on, and so that they know, like, oh, dad told us about this. But that's one of them. So, Kimmy, yeah, I bet you there would be people that would run with you, especially if you're like at a conference or even just like at a store and you just start hauling ass running, people will follow. And then at the end, they'll, well, where are we running from? Eh. Like, I just want to try it. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny shit. So again, that's how my Texas trip started. I had an excellent trip, and got a lot of things coming, and I'm really happy about it. And as soon as I can talk more about it, you all will know as well. James says it's a stampede. Yeah, dude. Basically, it's like Jumanji. So yesterday, I want to talk about this. Yesterday was a special day for two reasons. Okay. First and foremost, yesterday was my dad's 70th birthday. And we took him to this awesome car museum in Indiana. And he got to see a bunch of Duesenbergs. Many old cars, man. It was one of the coolest things to be able to do for my dad. And he didn't know. He didn't know what we were doing. And the cool thing is that, like, on the outside, it just looks like a factory. And that's because that's what it is. The original factory where they were making all of these Duesenbergs, all of these cars, it's a museum now. And you can go through, it's 3 floors, and you can go through. Wait, what? Kimmy says, ew, you said Indiana, bad word. What? Wait, why? Oh, wait a minute. Is it because nobody can run any of the Indiana plates? Is that why? Well, at least I didn't say one of the other words. But I won't say that right now because I don't want people yelling at me about it. So it's a factory. Oh yeah, I was right. Yep, about the plates. So it's a it's a factory, but now a museum. And we walk in, and my dad just caught a glimpse of one of the cars, and he goes, like, like, like a little kid, man, opening up a present on Christmas, and it was something that they were asking for, right? And you see that reaction, and it was one of the most amazing things. Like, he was getting emotional, and we walked through, and it's like a reveal, right? And there are all of these cars from like the 20s, Roaring 20 style, and they're all restored there in this museum, and we're going through all of them. And he was just like a kid in a candy store, man. It was one of the coolest things. And then later on, we ended up going to a baseball game, one of the minor league here for Fort Wayne, and it was an excellent game. There's fireworks, all kinds of things. So, Dad, happy birthday. Happy 70th birthday. And then today, we had a big old breakfast. I made, I grilled some food for dinner. So, I had some corn. We had some fajitas, man. It was just all kinds of good. Saying happy birthday, gave him a cake and everything. And it was good. Kimmy says, happy birthday, Pops. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. I will tell him. And so we had a really good time. It's been a great weekend. Another reason that yesterday was special is because yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of my last day in dispatch. Oh man, it's crazy to think that it's been 10 years. So I want to put this up on the screen for those over here on TikTok. I think maybe I posted the picture as a story. If not, I will. If not, I'll end up putting it on there. But all it is it's a picture of me at dispatch. It was the last picture that I took there. So there it is. It's on the screen right now. And this picture actually was right after my last shift. So, and if I get emotional, I apologize. But yesterday morning, my daughters and I went to Chick-fil-A to get Chick-fil-A breakfast. And as we're on our way back, we're talking about how it's their abuelo's birthday. But I also told them, today around this time, I was getting ready to go in to dispatch for the very last time. Now, my youngest daughter wasn't born yet. Now, this is 2013, and my oldest daughter, Lola, who's 11 now, she was like 2 years old during this time. And I was telling them, I said, around this time right now, mijas, I was getting ready to go into dispatch for the last time. And they said, what? For real? And I said, yeah, I wanted to work the 1P to 1A shift. So 1 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning. And it was a 12-hour shift. And the reason I wanted to work that shift was because I wanted to work with the morning folks, the morning team, as well as my own team and everybody out in the field. So I could say goodbye and everything. And I told them, I said it was an emotional day. Because when I finally decided to leave dispatch, I mean, it was a hard decision. It wasn't easy. I felt like I was betraying my own. And it finally really just came to choosing me and what I was going to end up doing, but also on top of that, knowing and hoping that what I was going to end up doing would not only help those that I worked with, but also 911 as a whole. And, I ended up putting my 2 weeks in. And because of the time that it was, I made it, or I was able to make it, where my last shift would be on my dad's birthday. And I remember that drive, and I was nervous as hell. Because this was going to be it. I was scared. Because I thought, what if I'm not making the right decision? What if something happens? But then I thought, if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it. I need to at least try. I need to do what I'm passionate about, what is in my heart, and do this. And I remember getting there and, I'm working on main phones and just going through. And honestly, the last 2 weeks in dispatch was good, but it was also hell at the same time because it seemed as though if dispatch was a gang, okay? If dispatch was a gang, it was like I was getting beat out of this gang. It was like the dispatch gods were handing me all kinds of shit calls like, "You're gonna go out? Well, you're gonna go out how we want you to go out." And, I mean, don't get me wrong, there was some good calls in there too, but there was some really, really hard ones, and a lot of those stick with me. And I've shared a lot of those stories, but it was a hard last 2 weeks. So going in, that last shift and going through and working with everyone, but also taking a moment with everyone that was there and thinking, "I'm never gonna be in this position again. I'm never gonna be sitting here with them, with my family." And it was hard. I mean, I remember walking into dispatch and standing there for a moment in the hallway. I can see myself right now. I was just standing there, looking down the hallway, looking down the other side of the hallway, and just trying to take these mental pictures to remember everything. And again, this was a 12-hour shift, right? 1 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning. And the last few hours of the shift, the person who was supposed to come in called in sick. And because I was a supervisor on duty, I needed to go down the list to get someone to come in. But I ended up not doing it. What I ended up doing was I volunteered for those last 4 hours. So my last shift in dispatch was an overtime shift, and it was 16 hours. In true dispatch form, that was my last shift. And it was for a few different reasons, and first and foremost, I didn't wanna have anybody have to come in for that time, but more importantly, I wanted to finish the shift with my team. 'Cause I don't know, it didn't feel right just leaving either because I probably would not have left. I probably would have just sat there. Even what I'm saying is even if that person had come in, I probably would have just chilled there for those last few hours to finish with my team. So, again, instead of having anybody come in for that overtime, I volunteered. I took that 16 hour and I continued to work, but what I ended up doing was when it hit 1 AM, I ended up switching. So, I went from main phones to, main radios, and I finished off my shift there. So, there were a lot of different calls, right, that were coming in, and we were just talking and reflecting on my time in dispatch, what it was gonna be like going on from dispatch to where I was going to be, which was becoming an industry partner, working for a 911 solutions company in the private side of 911. And I was still gonna be doing the podcast, still gonna be doing all of that, sharing stories. Everything would continue, I just wouldn't be in dispatch anymore. So, while we were there, we were talking about all the different kinds of calls that we've taken, okay? And we were joking about a lot of things that had happened to us as well, working together, funny things, hard things, all kinds of different calls. And I end up saying to my team, because now it's really close to the shift being over completely, and I'm freaking out. Nobody could, I don't think they could tell, but on the inside I was freaking out because it was already coming to an end and I didn't want it to end. I didn't want that shift to end. And as we're talking about different phone calls, I ended up saying, so there's one call that I have never taken. And I remember one of my partners ends up saying, don't put that out in the universe. Like, you're going to jinx yourself. It's going to end up happening. And I said, there's no way in the last 30 or so minutes that we have in this shift that I have as dispatch that this would happen. There's no way. So I said it. And what this call was a medical translating in Spanish. There was one call that I had never done. I had translated Spanish for many different call types. But also, one of the things that I ended up saying was, there's nothing going on anyway. Which, as we all know, saying something like that is tempting fate. You might as well say the Q word. Right? You might as well say it. So we're sitting there, and I am in my head trying to think about what I'm going to say in my final transmission over the radio, in my sign off. I'm going through it in my head, and then the phone rings. 911 goes off, and I look at my partner right away, and I said, no way. And we were thinking, it's a call, and there's no way that this could be what I said. So then I hear, un momento, which is just a moment. And I thought, hell no. No, this is not happening right now. That can't be. And I look over at my partner, Whitney, and she's laughing. And she goes, I told you. And I said, no. I said this. And so then I hear the phone. I hear the handset. And my coworker, my partner, Jill, on phones, she's laughing. And I thought, oh, okay. It wasn't anything. She was just messing with me. And she goes, Ricardo? And I said, dude. And she goes, I'm really sorry, but this person is speaking Spanish. I have no idea what it is. I need you to interpret. And I said, okay. I pick up the phone, and I shit you not, it is a medical, and I'm having to translate in Spanish. Be careful what you wish for, or what you put out there in the universe, because it happened. No exaggeration, nothing like that. That shit happened. I'm sitting there taking this phone call, translating. This person was having trouble breathing. And so the person had no idea where they were either. Luckily, I knew exactly where the person was because I started having him describe what he was seeing, where he was at, all of that. But here's the thing. This guy was at a friend's house, okay? And they were having a party. Everyone's drunk off their ass, and everyone's passed out asleep, and he can't wake anybody up. So nobody could tell him, like the address or anything because they were all passed out and he couldn't wake anybody up. Basically, what was happening, he was having a panic attack. E EMS ended up getting there. I had an officer that was close by to assist in, finding where he was at. Everybody got out there. There was no delay in time. They got there really fast. The person did not end up, uh, getting transported or anything. They decided not to, but I just afterwards, after I hung up, when everybody got there, I just sat there and I thought, "What the fuck? Like, how is that possible?" What are the odds? What are the odds that within the last, like, 30 or so minutes, the final call of our shift and my last call was the one that I threw out there? I might as well have been the babe pointing and saying, "I'm about to hit a home run, and it's going that way." That's basically what happened, man. I called my last call. That was some crazy shit. Let's see over here. That would have been handy. Dispatch to a cardiac emergency. Spanish speaking. Ended up his heart hurt from a breakup. Oh no. Translators are helpful. Best they could get was heart and hurt. Damn. Good they got out there though, right? They still got out there. And perfect end of shift call. Yes, perfect end of shift call, perfect end of career call because that was it. That was my last call in dispatch. And I could not believe that it actually went down that way. Oh man. So then after that, I got to say my final transmission, and I'm going to play that here in just one moment because my good friend Whitney, who was on my team, but also was co-host of Within the Trenches podcast for several episodes before I ended up moving to over here to Indiana. She, of course, still works there at Allegan County. She's now the deputy director there. So proud of you, dude, and all of you that are there. I love you so much. Um, I got to say my final transmission, and let's see. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on over here on TikTok. That's kind of weird. But so I ended up doing my final transmission. And after that, we ended up doing like a tailgate. Cuz that was one of the things that we were talking about. We were saying um how do you want to end this? How do you want to do this? And I had told them, I said, at the end of it, I mean, it would be funny or it'd be cool if we could do kind of like a tailgate type thing and do that, which we did. So my brother ended up going, and we were all there in the parking lot. We were grilling out, and it was just a few of us there, and that was it. That was the end of my time in dispatch. So this picture that's on the screen, um, I took that as we were leaving. I ended up taking off, and I stopped really fast, and I said to my brother, Come back here really quick. Come back with me. I want you to can you please take a picture of me here?" And that's me that morning. after a 16-hour shift. Now, over here on TikTok, I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's giving me some weird warning or something. So it says I need to end my live video for some reason. I don't know what the heck it is that's going on. Or maybe not. Maybe this is somebody else this is somebody else is typing some bullshit. Anyway, so I want to play that over here. And so let me bring this picture down. Let me pull the video up. Now, what I want to explain here really quick in this video, excuse me. What I want to explain here really quick in this video is that when I give my final transmission, there are a few words that I say, okay? And few things that I say. So what I end up doing is, well, let me say this first. So when I was in dispatch, there were a couple things that I would do with those on the radio. Only when it was not busy at all, so don't get it twisted. Um it was sometimes on the radio we would just sniff. It's so stupid. It was so stupid, but it broke up the chaos that is 911. And it was one of the deputies that I work with. He did it the first time and I did it back. And sometimes, you know, the sheriff's department and the state or whatever, like they would always like, who's closer to the call? Like, just go. And they would, of course. They would just go. They would both go. But it was always funny to see them talk back and forth to each other. So like someone would say something on the radio and then someone would come back right after them and key up and it would just go boop, and then and that would be it. And then I would key up boop, and sniff back. Again, it was so stupid, but it was funny. And then of course, like everybody, instead of saying right now, we would say right meow. Right? Meow. We would do the meow thing, or we would say giggity. Just sometimes out of nowhere in the middle of the night during a midnight shift, someone would just key up. And not on the main channel. It would be like on a secondary channel or something. And you would just out of nowhere, when there's nothing going on, you would just hear giggity. So what I did was I added those things into my last transmission because it was special to me, and because we had that together with those out in the field, with my sisters and brothers of public safety. But also we would joke around and we would sometimes at 4:20 we would do a radio check. So again, I added all of that in there. And I want to play that for all of you here. And again, thank you, Whitney, for recording this, because I will always have this. Always have this. Let's see over here really quick. See, LOL, didn't know you were from Michigan. Friend met you at a Vegas conference. Navigator, maybe? They all raved about you. All my peeps are Livingston. Been listening to your powerful podcast ever since, and I retired FD 13 years ago. Oh, that's awesome, man. Nice to meet you. And everybody that was there, it was probably Navigator in Vegas. That was, what, 3 years ago, maybe? Something like that. But yeah, I did a couple sessions there and everything. I did Imagine Listening. I had the podcast there. Thank you. That is awesome. I appreciate that. All right, so here we go. Let me switch this over, and then I need to switch an audio piece here so that everybody can hear the audio as well. So I'll switch that. And then for those who are over here on TikTok, all I'm going to do is put this headpiece over my earpiece so that you can hear it. All right, here we go.
essential to all stations and units. My 8 years here has come to an end now. It has been an excellent experience. Giggity and Godspeed. It's been a pleasure and an honor working with all of you. I'm out. Over 20.
420. I know. Oh, where do you start?
There it is. I wanna zoom in here really quick, or scrub back here. So that was it. It was short and sweet. And right at the end, where I said, that it's been an honor working with all of you. I'm out 420. I know this. I don't know that you can see it, but or hear it, but I started to get emotional. Like it took me everything to get that last bit out of what I said, because that was it. That was the end. But I wanted it to be, again, short and sweet, but I wanted it to be special in that sense that it was humorous, and those were the things that we said to each other. And so that was, my connection with everybody, and saying goodbye. Now you can kind of hear it, and I could hear it with the headphones on. You could hear like a boom, boom, and if you look here, and you can't see the arrow over on the screen, but if you look, the white monitor to the left, if you look just to the right, you see like a light blue and black underneath. That's from the MCT messages. I was starting to get a bunch of messages from people saying goodbye, and that was that was probably one of the coolest things as well, was everyone saying goodbye and stuff, but also those responding on the radio. And I'll always have that. I will always cherish my time in dispatch, no matter how hard it was at times. Um, and I do miss it. I miss everybody there. And everyone from the beginning of my dispatch career in Florida to where I finished off in Allegan, which is the county that I grew up in. I thank you all. I love you all. And especially in Allegan, there was so much that happened there. And everything that I do now for a living came from things that I was doing there during my time in dispatch. But again, a big thanks to Whitney for recording that, because again, like I said, I will always have that now. And it'll be something that I'll have to reflect on. I will say something really quick, as I've got the video, the screen right there. The keyboard to the left, that big red button, is where we would key up to speak over the radio. That thing would stick all the time. Which is awesome that what we're doing is open mic, because we would have open mics a lot from that stupid button. And you wouldn't know unless you looked up on the screen and saw that it was red because it was still open, or you would be getting messages like you see on my screen of someone saying open mic, hot mic, hot mic. Oh man. Such good times. So 2023 has been a big year. It marks 10 years of the Within the Trenches podcast. And I thank you all for the support, the continued support, and for trusting me to share your stories for the last 10 years and beyond. It's been an honor, and I love that I'm able to do this with all of you, and your trust in me sharing your powerful stories is just humbling and amazing, and I don't take it lightly. It means a lot. So thank you. So 10 years of the podcast, over 2.1 million downloads now, and is heard in over 60 countries. Thank you. 10 years. But also 10 years of my partnership with NENA, the National Emergency Number Association. That national conference is where I got my start in national conferences, doing the podcast. I've been doing the podcast with that organization for 10 years now. Thank you, NENA. And now 10 years of my last day in dispatch. There's so much that has happened since then. The I Am 911 movement. Imagine listening now as a book with all of these stories that people have sent in. And I hope you enjoyed this book. Again, it's book 1 in a series of books that's going to be coming out. So much has happened, and there is so much more to come. So again, I thank you, all of you, for being here, for the job that you do. And there's so much more. Coming up this Thursday, I am going to be doing a guest spot on a live show. It's a podcast, but it's also a live broadcast. It's called the Comm Center, and it's with Drew Breezy and company. It's an excellent one. It's a broadcast, not only for dispatch, but for all of public safety. And they do shows every Thursday at 8 p.m., I believe, Eastern time. And it's on YouTube. So make sure to check it out. There'll be links that'll be going out soon, but I will be on there talking about my story, but also talking about the book, Imagine Listening, how it came about, all kinds of things. So I'm excited to be on there. Thank you, Drew, and everyone for the invite. And I'm going to have Drew come on Within the Trenches as well to share his story. And so there's a lot of things coming up there. I recently did a guest spot on the podcast called Were You Still Talking? And that was a lot of fun. That was with Joel. That one, links will be coming out for that as well. And Sassy, what's up, Sarah? What is going on? So all of that is going to be coming up. So make sure to look out for all of that. Again, I'm excited for everything that's coming up, but especially for tomorrow, July 24th. Imagine Listening launches. So thank you, all of you. Dad, again, happy 70th birthday. He's downstairs right now in the living room as I'm doing all of this. And let's see, Sassy says, can you see the warnings from yeah, I saw that. I think it's someone else. I clicked on it on here, and it's someone's profile. So it's nothing. I'm going to look into it either way, but I don't think it's anything. Because it says that it has, like a few followers or something. I think it's bullshit. But either way, enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a good sleep. And enjoy the rest of the week. And I will see you all next week, Saturday. We'll be doing it unless something happens, unless I'm traveling or I don't know, something else happens. It'll be Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, as usual, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as here on TikTok. And again, I am crazy excited for everything that is coming up. So if you have any comments, questions, or even want to be a guest on the flagship show, you can email us, and that's going to be WTTpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that is WTTpodcast@gmail.com. And you can follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, all of that good shit. But let me tell you, to make it easy, especially here on TikTok, just go to my page, link in bio. But for everybody over here, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, you can check it out. And that's links.co/WTT podcast. That is links with 2 I's.co/WTT podcast. You'll find everything on there. How to become a subscriber of the podcast to get bonus material, swag, all of that good shit. Also to hear the most recent episode, where to find podcast merchandise, all of it. links.co/WTT podcast. And I thank you all very much. This episode has been sponsored by InDigital, a leader in next-gen core services. Shout out to patrons and Facebook subscribers of the podcast. This can be seen on TikTok, Facebook, as well as YouTube and Twitter. And then for the flagship show, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone, and I will see you all in the next one.